This one is a very quick one. Now there was an introductory video, a first one, and you could see, like what Kun Sayang mentioned, we are a very small island in Singapore, very small city-state, drop in the ocean, some people call it, maybe a little red dot, we call it. Now this little island does not have large-scale manufacturing facility. It thrives on different dimensions, and most of it is channeled towards ICT, Information, Communication and Technology, which I'll speak a little bit more later on. And before I end the presentation later on, I will show you a very interesting vision we have called the Singapore 2015, like the ASEAN 2015. And that may interest you, but we'll speak about that later. Now, as we know, logistics is the organization of the movement of goods over time and space. And it has evolved from a long time since the 19th century military routes into today's international supply chains. Some people call it demand chain or value chain. Now, as the backbone of international trade, logistics actually encompasses freight transportation, warehousing, border clearance, payment systems, and many other functions. These functions are then performed mostly by private service providers for private traders and owners of the goods. But logistics is also important for the public policies of national governments, regional as well as international organizations. Because the global supply chain are so varied and complex, the efficiency of logistics depends on government services, investments and policies. To build infrastructure and to develop a regulatory regime for transport services and designing and implementing efficient customs clearance procedures are all areas where our governments play an extremely important role. Now, the improvements in global logistics over the past 2 decades have been driven largely by innovations and a great increase in global trade. While policies and investments that enable good logistics practices help modernize the best performing countries, logistics still lacks in many developing countries. The tremendous importance of logistics performance for economic growth, diversification, and poverty reduction has long been widely recognized. The policy thus matters. National governments can facilitate trade through investment in both hard and soft infrastructure. Countries have improved their logistics performances by implementing strategic and sustained interventions, mobilizing actors across traditional sectors silos, and involving the private sectors. Logistics is also increasingly important for sustainability, and this is a major challenge. Now, environmental impacts of logistics practices has become today a very important focus in developing and developed countries. That's why countries and economies and players are looking at green logistics today, carbon footprints, carbon credits, as in the EU. A multi-dimensional assessment of logistics performance, the World Bank Logistics Performance Index compares trade logistics profiles of 155 countries and rate them on a scale of 1 for the worst performance and 5 for the best. The ratings are based on 6,000 individual country assessment by nearly 1,000 international freight forwarders who rate the 8 foreign countries, their company serve most frequently. Listed here with are the data extracted from the 9 ASEAN member countries scorecard, and we can see here the various performances and rankings of our fellow ASEAN members. Perhaps there's a need for our own critical review to do better the next time. Now, the World Bank Logistics Performance Index